Welcome to Business Analysis Techniques. This is week 5 of the summer 2014 quarter. And this week, your reading assignment is chapter 5 in the textbook. And I have the PowerPoints that go along with chapter 7. Chapter 7 is the reading. I think I said unit 5, but the reading is chapter 7. And the chapter 7 PowerPoint is attached here. So we're in unit 5, but the reading is chapter 7. And so you've got the textbook online as well as the PowerPoints attached. Then you have, as always, you're going to have discussion this week. You need to make a main post that addresses all portions of the discussion question. And then you also need to reply to at least 2 of your classmates to be eligible to get full credit. So this week's discussion, you're going to talk about linear programming and how that can be applied to a business that you're familiar with. So you'll want to have at least gotten started on the reading in order to effectively talk about the discussion. Then you have an assignment this week, and you've got a sheet here that you're going to download to complete the problems. And for this assignment, you're going to use Solver, which is one of the tools that we installed week 1. So in week 1, I had you to install this Solver tool. So if you did not install that at the time, you'll want to go back to the week 1 video to review how to install Solver, because you will need that for this lesson. And so after you've read the chapter, you'll have more information about this. Oops, put that back. Okay, so what you're going to do is determine what is the a number of air conditioners and fans you should make to maximize your profit. So this is problem 1 of the assignment this week. And so you're told some information in this problem. You're told how much profit you make per air conditioner and per fan. That's the information you'll put here. You're going to put here the profit you make per air conditioner, the profit you make per fan. And so to maximize that profit, you're going to have a formula here that says to take the amount of profit per fan or an air conditioner times the number of fans and air conditioners, and that will tell you your maximum profit, or how to maximize your profit. Then you've got some constraints. You have some constraints, and they are wiring and drilling. So this paragraph up here tells you that wiring an air conditioner requires a certain amount of hours of wiring time, so you'll put that down. Air conditioners require a certain amount of drilling, so you'll put that here. Then you move over to the fans. The paragraph tells you how much wiring time a fan requires, how much drilling time a fan requires. So you'll have that information here as far as how many hours it takes for each product to complete each of these tasks. So then here you're going to sum your total wiring time, sum your total drilling time. And the paragraph tells you the total amount of wiring and drilling time that's available. So what you're going to tell Solver is that this number, and I'm just going to highlight it, this total wiring time has to be less than the number given up here for the maximum wiring time. And then the sum of your drilling time has to be less than the amount of time given in the paragraph that is your maximum allowable drilling time. So once you've got all this completed, you've got the problem itself filled in, you've got your profit per item, you've got your formula for profit, you've got your constraints, and your sum, you've got your sum for your wiring and drilling hours. That is when you'll go to Solver and you're going to tell Solver what to do. You're going to set your objective, which means your maximum profit is the objective you're trying to set. You're trying to set it to the maximum by changing the number of products. So you're trying to see what is the right mix of products to make to maximize your profit. Then you'll add your constraints in. And so you'll tell it which cell needs to be less than or equal to the constraint amount. And then once you add the first one, then you'll click OK. Yeah, and it's not going to let me do it because I'm not actually entering the constraint. But just make sure after you enter the first constraint, you turn around and add the second constraint, because remember there's two: wiring and drilling. And all of this is demonstrated in your textbook as well, the step-by-step of how to use Solver. I'm just going through it here as well. So once you complete that, all of this information is filled out in Solver. Then you'll click Solve, and Solver will tell you how many of each product you should create in order to maximize your profit. So then you move on to the second problem, which is very similar. You're going to use Solver again, and Solver tells you your profit per unit for this alpha 4 product and this beta 5 project. So again, you're going to fill in the formula for profit, which is the profit per unit times the number of units. There's one constraint in this problem, which is labor. And so you're told how much labor it requires for this product, how much labor is required for this product. So then you're going to sum all your labor. And so this formula is going to be the number of hours per product times the number of products. That's how you're going to get your labor sum. And so the problem will tell you that this total amount of labor has to be less than or equal to a certain amount up here that's given to you, the maximum amount of labor that you have. So again, and this is the same way on problem 1. When I say you're going to sum your labor here, it's going to be the total labor. So you're talking about the amount of labor per product times the number of products. So over here, when you were totaling your wiring, you're going to take the amount of wiring per fan times the number of fans, the amount of wiring per air conditioner times the number of air conditioners. So that sum of all of your wiring time is what goes here. And the same with drilling. Then back over to problem 2, we're talking about labor. So we're going to calculate labor that way. It's going to be this line times this line is your sum here. And this has to be less than the constraint amount that's given in the problem. So again, once you've got all this filled out, the objective function, which is the profit per unit, you've got the profit formula in, you've got the labor constraints in, you've got the total labor. That's when you'll go to Solver, and you will tell Solver that you're trying to maximize profit. So whatever cell has profit in it, that's your set objective. You want to maximize it by changing the number of units. So you'll put that in, and then you will add your constraint, and then you'll solve. And that it will take you to that will give you the maximum profit and tell you exactly the number of units to produce to reach that maximum profit. So your problem 3 is the same type of problem. It's just got more information. So on problem 3, you're still trying to get to a maximum profit, which is here. And you're going to be told some information about various products that you're going to produce, 4 different products. So to get your objective function here, your profit for each unit, for each type of product, here you're going to multiply the number of units that are going to be produced times the profit per unit, which you're going to grab from over here. So you're going to have a formula in this row, which is going to take the number of units of that particular product times the profit per unit for that product. So you'll have that in each one. And then since you've already done the multiplication times the number of units here, this maximum profit figure can actually just be a sum. Literally sum across these lines and then sum here. So the long part is going to be the constraints, because you have a few different constraints here in this problem. you've got a wiring constraint, and of course you'll have to read the paragraph above to get all the details. But I'm just getting you started. But you've got all these constraints. And each product rather, each piece of equipment has a different constraint as far as wiring, drilling, assembly, inspection, and the minimum required. So you're going to have to locate the information you need to get the wiring. You'll need to multiply the number of units of this product times the amount of wiring time that this product takes. And to get the amount of drilling time, you'll need to take the number of units times the amount of drilling this product takes. And you'll do that for every product. And once you have all of that filled in, again, in this column, you're going to sum all of your wiring time, all your drilling, all your assembly, and inspection time. So that's how you're going to calculate all of those. And then these sums need to be less than or equal to the time available for each of those activities. Then for your minimum required down here, it's going to tell you over here what the minimum required is. So when you go to Solver, you're going to have to enter all of these constraints. You're going to have to enter that the minimum required of this product is this many. The minimum required of this product is this many, etc. So you're going to enter a constraint for all of these. We'll have a separate constraint. Then you'll have constraints for all of these items, what they need to be less than or equal to. So when you go into Solver, you're going to still say you're trying to maximize profit. And by changing the number of units produced, and when you get down to constraints, you're going to have a list of them. There's going to be several constraints. I'm thinking about, well, there's going to be 8 separate constraints that you're going to enter. You're going to enter the constraint for wiring, drilling, assembly, inspection, and then you're going to enter the minimum required for each product. So you're going to have 8 different constraints. Then you'll hit solve, and the solver will tell you how many of each of these products to maximize profit and what that maximum profit is. So this should help you to get started. And again, all of these details and step-by-step instructions are also in your textbook. If you do not have this Solver tab up here, you'll need to review the week 1 video so that you can install Solver, because you will need that in order to complete this week's assignment. So if you have any questions, I look forward to talking with you in email or in the discussion. And have a great week.